Good Monday morning. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. It is hard to believe that we sit here in the first week of November. Just 4 more regular season games to go. I tell you guys to soak it in, drink it in, enjoy the ride. Even when it doesn't look the way that we expect, enjoy this football team. I think we got a pretty dang good football team this season. We've got an opportunity at a SEC championship. We got a college football playoff opportunity. And if you go back to the beginning of the year, you go back to the offseason, the summer, fall camp, spring camp, all of it, that was kind of where we were at, man. It felt like it was college football playoff or bust. It felt like this team needed to take a step. What they did in 2022 was special. And then we kind of took a step back in 2023, and a lot of that blame went on Joe Milton. It went on the offense. It felt like it was conservative. It felt like it wasn't clicking. So going into year 4, it was like, okay, Heupel's got his guy. Heupel's got Nico. That's the quarterback he wanted. That's the quarterback he went and got. 5-star kid, number 1 player in the country. I think sometimes we built those expectations so high that we forget that he's a freshman, but you're also returning a bunch of guys on the offensive line. You added a 5-star via the transfer portal in Lance Hurd. We talk about having the best defensive line in the country. We had some question marks around the secondary, but I think this secondary has been pretty good. I think this defense is really good. I know we've talked a lot about it, but holding the opponent to less than 20 points every single game this deep into the season, the only other teams to do that in history are all 4 national championship winning teams. LSU in 2003, Alabama in 2011 and 2012, and then Georgia in 2021. And then the offense, they're getting close. They're taking steps. And I feel like we say that every week, but it certainly feels like they are taking steps and growing week in and week out. But are they truly a college football playoff team? Do you believe that? I see it here today, and I think Tennessee can go on the road and beat Georgia. I think they can go win an SEC championship. I think if they get things figured out on the offensive side of the ball, they can beat any team in the country. You go over to the ESPN FPI, take a look at it. Again, Tennessee sits here at 7-1 with just 4 games to go. They got a 73.6% chance of making the college football playoff according to the FPI. That's the 3rd highest odds in the SEC behind only Georgia and Texas. Alabama comes in at 4th at 55.7%. Ole Miss behind them at 30, and then it drops off to around 20% the rest of the way down the list. So does Tennessee really have a shot at a college football playoff appearance? I want to take a look at an article from VolQuest, and it's called "Where is Tennessee Headed in the Updated College Football Playoff Brackets?" Tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, the college football playoff rankings will be released. Now, we stream every Tuesday night right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Yes, we play EA Sports College Football, but you better bet that I will have ESPN pulled up, and we will be talking about the college football playoff rankings as they are released. So tune in, dial in tomorrow night. I'll go live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time like always. But we're going to get into this article. We're going to take a look at it. There are some things in this that just make me shake my head and say, you cannot be serious with this nonsense, but it's typical coming from ESPN. Before we get into it, I need you guys to do me that YouTube stuff. You know the deal by now. Smash the thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. If it's your first time here, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders or media. We don't fake it. We don't pretend to be any of that stuff. What we are is fans. We're diehard, passionate fans that react. We speculate. We talk Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So if you like it, make sure you subscribe and click that bell for notifications. If you really like what we do and you want to support us, the best way to do that is to hit the join button. It's right beside subscribe. There's also a link in the description of the video. It's just $1. Just $1 a month. If you want to give more, we greatly appreciate it. This channel doesn't exist without those memberships, so we can really use your support. Think about hitting that join button. We would appreciate it. But let's jump into it. Let's take a look at this article from VolQuest, and this isn't behind a paywall. That's why I'm comfortable sharing it. Grant Ramey posted this 20 hours ago. Bowl projections, where Tennessee is headed in updated college football playoff brackets. It says here Tennessee stayed in the college football playoff conversation with a 28-18 win over Kentucky Saturday night at Neyland Stadium. The Vols got help elsewhere too, with Texas A&M losing to South Carolina. Clemson lost at home against Louisville on Sunday. On 3, ESPN, The Athletic, CBS Sports, and Sports Illustrated all had the Vols in their updated college football playoff projections, with ESPN picking Tennessee to host a first-round playoff game. Now, that is the beautiful thing about this 12-team playoff. Imagine Neyland Stadium, right? We look at the last 3 games. We talk about Florida, Checker Neyland. We talk about Alabama, an orange out, night game, dark mode against Kentucky, and the recruiting environment that creates. And so many times in recruiting, a lot of these guys look back to the Alabama game in 2022. I think they're going to be looking back to the Alabama game in 2024. Just electric environments. Now you add the college football playoff into it. Hosting a college football playoff game would be absolutely huge for recruiting as we move forward under Josh Heupel. Goes on here, some of the projections. On3 has Tennessee as the number 10 seed, going to number 7 Indiana, with the winner facing Miami. ESPN has Tennessee hosting Boise State, with the winner advancing to face number 1 Oregon. The Athletic has the Vols as a number 10 seed at number 7 Penn State, with number 2 Miami awaiting the winner. CBS has the Vols in its playoff bracket for the first time this season. Jerry Palm has Tennessee as number 11 at number 6 Texas. Sports Illustrated has Tennessee at number 9, playing at number 8 Penn State. So first of all, which one of these matchups do you like? Of course, I want Tennessee to host. I like that Boise State matchup. Tennessee hosting Boise State. Let's go find out who the best running back in the country really is. We talked about in the morning stream with Eric Kane. If you missed that, go back, give it a watch. Great stream with Kaner. It's Monday mornings with Kaner. Always a good time. We talked about Dylan Sampson is not getting enough love for Heisman. So bring Boise State to Knoxville and let's settle it. Who's the best running back in the country? What other matchups do you like? Going on the road to play Indiana is an option that we see there. Tennessee and Texas. I like that. That's a fun matchup, but I really want to see that with the SEC championship on the line. What better way to welcome Texas to the SEC than beating them and showing them who the real UT is? I like that matchup. This is where it gets interesting. Let's roll on down. If Tennessee finishes as a 2-loss team, it could be in trouble in the committee meeting room. Tennessee moved up to number 6 in the coaches poll, stayed at number 7 in the AP poll on Sunday, goes to number 2 Georgia in 2 weeks. ESPN's outlook did come with a warning, though. Don't be surprised by what's coming up here. Should the Vols lose in Athens and finish the regular season with a 10-2 record? This is from ESPN's Heather Dennett. She says if Tennessee finishes as a 2-loss team, it could be in trouble in the committee meeting room, where the winner of the Alabama-LSU game could have a better resume. If Alabama wins, though, that could help the Vols if they honor that head-to-head. So she's saying the winner of the Alabama-LSU game, if Tennessee has 2 losses, Alabama has 2 losses, we know what they're going to do. We've seen it before. We saw it in 2022 when Tennessee and Alabama both had two losses. And yes, they were outside of the college football playoff, but in the college football playoff rankings, Alabama was ahead of Tennessee. How does that make any sense? And I get it. Heather Dennis is going to talk about resumes. I don't care about resumes. The first thing you should always look at, if you've got 2 teams in the same conference with the same record and they played head-to-head, that should mean something. Settle it on the field. Don't settle it with your opinion of a win over Wisconsin or your opinion of a win over South Carolina or your opinion of a win over Oklahoma on the road. Let's not settle it with your stupid opinion. Let's settle it on the field. So if you've got Alabama and you've got Tennessee and they both have 2 losses, how about we go with the team that actually won the game head-to-head? That would make too much sense. Not for Heather Dinich. Says Tennessee could be in trouble in the committee meeting room, where the winner of Alabama-LSU could have a better resume. Goes on to say, since the 1914 loss at Arkansas on October 5th, Tennessee has answered with a 23-17 overtime win over Florida and a 24-17 win over Alabama, followed by a 28-18 win over Kentucky. Now, it goes on down here and talks about the fact that Tennessee still has Georgia on the schedule coming up in 2 weeks. This quote says, Boise State has a better loss by a field goal at Oregon, and even in their best win against Alabama, the Vols showed vulnerabilities with turnovers and penalties. It just makes me – it's so comical. We're grasping at straws. Let me find a reason to devalue Tennessee. I mean, they beat Alabama, but they showed some vulnerabilities, so that's a problem. They had turnovers and penalties. It's not that Tennessee overcame the turnovers and penalties and went and beat a rivalry in Alabama, a team that they beat twice in, the last 18 years? That's not good enough for Heather Dinich. They showed vulnerabilities. That's a problem. It goes back to, well, their quarterback's hurt. They don't belong in the college football playoff. That is BS. Don't base your college football playoff off of what you think will happen. Well, I don't think they'll win because their quarterback's hurt. That's the stupidest narrative I've ever heard. Base it on what they've done. Base it on who they beat. Base it on what took place in a head-to-head matchup. The nonsense of, well, their quarterback's hurt, so we're not letting them in the playoff is the stupidest narrative I've ever heard in college football. She goes on to say they also needed overtime to beat a 4-loss Florida team, and both Oklahoma and NC State are also 4-loss opponents now. The committee will like their win against Alabama and their defense, scoring defense number 3 at 11.5 points per game, ahead of Oregon and Georgia, a hair above Ohio State. The close road loss to Arkansas isn't as bad as Notre Dame's loss, and the Vols have better wins than the teams ranked below. Not set since September, though, against a weak non-conference schedule, has Tennessee asserted itself with a convincing win. This is the problem of, well, this is what I think. This is my opinion. You shouldn't have a voice in who goes to the college football playoff. We need to settle it on the field, and Tennessee and Alabama played head-to-head. Tennessee won. It shouldn't be a question. Here's the beautiful thing. Let's not leave it to the judges. Let's not go the distance. Let's not get screwed on a split decision. Let's go take care of Georgia in 2 weeks, and let's finish out this season 11-1. Let's start it this weekend. Tennessee's going to be favored in every game outside of Georgia the rest of the way. ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 94% chance of beating Mississippi State. The Vols are favored by 23.5 points, according to Vegas. UTEP, 99% chance. Vanderbilt, 77.4% chance. I get it. Everybody's going to talk about, Vanderbilt's not your same old Vanderbilt. They're good. I don't care. Go beat Georgia. Go win out. Let's go 11-1, and let's not leave it to the judges. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Buy a Christmas gift. Easy for me to say. Buy a Christmas gift for a loved one. The link is also in the description below, so you don't forget it, but you can go check it out. We got rivalry shirts. We got the brand new State Pride 2.0 shirts. God bless and go Vols. All your favorites are there. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. And again, just to reiterate, shout out to the members of the channel. You are what keep the lights on. You are what keeps this thing rolling. It would not be happening without you. It gives me the opportunity to stream in the morning, do the morning shows for you guys, bring you content throughout the day, try to do a live stream on Mondays, try to make video after that on Mondays. I sit down in this office and I try to put work in, and that does not happen without you guys. So I am grateful. Think about hitting that join button and keeping this channel moving forward. If not, hit the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.